Welcome to QCC's Face the Region. Face the Region is produced by Quinsigamond Community College to assist our region in attaining educational, economic, and personal prosperity. Good afternoon and welcome once again to Face the Region here on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN here at Quinsigamond Community College. I'm Zip Zipfo, your host, along with today, there's a whole bevy of folks we'll be chatting with here. But for this segment, Bonnie Coleman, who is the advisor to the PTK greenhouse, which is why we're here to talk about and find out more about that. Also, Kim May and Caleb Peterson, welcome to Face the Region. Bonnie, tell us a bit about this project. You're the advisor to it, correct?
Yes, I am.
You're on, kid. No, it's fine.
About 6 years ago, Mary Bailey, a student here, came into my office. She was a member of Phi Theta Kappa, and she noticed that we had many hungry students here on our campus, and she wanted to make a difference. So she thought that we should do some kind of garden out in our beautiful property here at QCC. And so we did go to the facilities, and that was not allowed at the time to do that. So after many years of going back and forth trying to find a place on this campus, they did give us a bus hut. It was a bus hut. So
You'd never know it was a bus hut.
You
I just
would not
want to say
know.
that. It looks like a greenhouse
It does
to me.
look like a greenhouse. The Phi Theta Kappa students, since then, all of them out there, have worked diligently on this greenhouse.
And does the greenhouse actually play a part in any of the student curriculums here?
At this point, it does not, but we're hoping to bring that into play within the future.
I know Anita Sirocco from the Environmental Sciences was mentioning that it'll eventually play a role in her class.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping, and also dental hygiene for the nutritional part of theirs. And it's not hotel and management any longer. Hospitality, which they are located on our campus in the senior center. They've also have expressed interest on coming up here and helping us out with this.
Great. Kim, what role did you play in the construction of this fabulous former bus hut?
So back in 2014, I actually accepted a leadership role within PTK, and that was in, like I said, 2014. And at the time, Mary Bailey and Joshua Averitt actually brought the idea to the table, and we all unanimously approved to go forward with the Greenhouse Initiative. And I believe in 2016 we were awarded a $16,000 grant to bring it to its fruition. And we also tied it into our year-long college project for Phi Theta Kappa, and we were recognized as a 5-star chapter as a result of the work that we did, both in this project and another project that we worked on. And so an idea that I had come up with was plant a seed. And so what our goal is to tie in and collaborate with the daycare next door and get the kids involved, kind of plant a seed early on, teach them about urban gardening and food sustainability. And what I'd like to do in the future is actually work with the Applied Arts Department and see if, as part of the curriculum, if students can create a book, a child's book, to tie back into the Lily Bookmobile and Literacy Initiative.
Wow, great. And Kayla, you're an active member of PTK, I know.
Yes.
This is just one of many projects you guys get involved with every year, correct?
It is one of many, yes.
What are some of the other things you're working on currently?
Some of the other things we're working on right now, we're fundraising for the Relay for Life in Auburn this coming Friday, next Friday. We are also still working with the Lilly Worcester Public Library Bookmobile and fundraising to make sure that that is maintained and on the road going to all the schools in Worcester. And we are also working with, we've been out to the Community Harvest Garden in Grafton. We've worked with Veterans Inc., Sherry's House. we work with so many different organizations within the community, and so where our students' hearts lie, we try to get there and get our volunteers out there.
Well, I know your work does not go unnoticed because so many people have such great things to say about PTK. So eventually, Bonnie, once it's up and fully running, where will all these plants end up, or herbs, or what are you planning on eventually?
So our hope is that we will be able to feed our needy students here on campus, and as you can see, our greenhouse is extremely small at this point. So really, this was just a test run, what we have outside. We're still working on the inside of the greenhouse to get everything to be able to go in the greenhouse and keeping the temperatures where they need to be. So our hope is that once we have this up and running throughout the winter, really, our next project will be to have a bigger and better spot here on campus that we can bring in a real greenhouse and have all the different departments here at the college being able to work with us for this greenhouse and to really be able to feed our hungry students here. And so all the food here, all the vegetables that we'll be growing will be free to our students. If we have any left over, we will put it out for our staff and faculty, but ask for donations from them. And that is how we'll keep the greenhouse up and running, through donations, through staff, faculty, our community out there. We've had, really on the weekends, a lot of people walk through here. And I've met many people while I've been up here watering, and they have brought us herbs, and they're very happy to see that this is happening on our campus. They think it's a wonderful addition to the QCC campus.
We're going to take a quick break here on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN, and when we return, find out more about the PTK greenhouse here at Quinsigamond Community College. Stay with us. Welcome back to QCC's Face the Region here on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN. I'm Zip Zipfel here at the PTK Greenhouse here on the QCC campus and chatting with Thomas Rokicki. Did I get that right?
Yes.
I did. A development specialist here at QCC, and Dave Runyon, who's the systems administrator. And Dave, you've seen this thing kind of through from the very beginning, from infancy to its current state. How's it going so far, and where are we at on the whole picture?
Yeah, it's going well. I've been involved with PTK for a while now. I actually started at QCC as a student. I was a PTK member myself, and now, fortunately, PTK played an important role in my ability to gain employment here. Now I'm in a position where I'm very fortunate to be able to give back to that group and help with this project. So I came on board to help with, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the end goals of this, but there's an initiative going on right now to automate a lot of the processes that are going to occur within the greenhouse. Myself and Thomas and several of the other students on the committee have been working to put those pieces in place. So the equipment that's in here right now, this was primarily installed by our facilities department, Jim Rackey, and the folks that work with him in that group here, and they've done a great job of getting the fundamentals in place here. We've got electricity, we've got water, we've got heating, cooling systems.
Heat for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a hot house.
We're definitely going to need that. It's I don't know how the girls in the sundresses were the ones that got chosen to be outside. I'm going to have to roll my sleeves up in a minute. Yeah, it's definitely warm in here. I don't think we'll have any problems growing things. That's for sure. So anyhow, yeah. So basically, the infrastructure's in place. Myself and Thomas and the rest of the guys in my group, the network infrastructure group here at QCC, we've been trying to get the back-end infrastructure put in place for data connectivity, providing a server and storage capacity for the students in the committee to run the application that Thomas is developing. And that's going to collect all the data from the sensors that are going to be in here, as well as handle some of the automation.
Tom, this sounds pretty high-tech. I mean, this is a pretty impressive task you've taken on here.
Well, I'm actually a computer science major here, and it's taken my skills that I've learned there to another level. I've learned a lot more through making a web application that's going to take what we have here and make it available to everyone online, that no matter where you are, you can come and you can see the live data for what we're doing here, for the temperature, the humidity. This is going to be a 4-season greenhouse, so it's going to be a test of the data collection will show everything for the entire year, and you can check it out. And we're actually working on machine vision to help us understand what it is that we can do to make plants grow better.
How to control the environment to
Right,
improve
exactly.
growth.
What it is that the plant will need to grow faster or bear more fruit.
Right. And so this application, is this something that you just came up with, or are you dovetailing on previous research, or how's that going?
This is actually, it's a mix of both. I've been working very closely with Brendan Russell, who's in charge of really the automation team, and he's been working very close with facilities to figure out the best way to set up and the safest way to set up all the sensors that we're going to be using for this web application. His work is going to be the core for the web application, as it'll send the data to a REST client for the database, and the web application will get that data to show. Now, I've actually had to do a lot of research to get it to where it is currently and continue, but it's been a great learning process.
I bet it has. Now, when you say sensors, so are you going to have individual sensors and individual plants, or, I mean, is that advanced, or are we talking about just an area of the greenhouse?
Currently, we're just looking at an area. I've been doing a lot of thinking that you bring it up. I've been doing more and more thinking of how the best way it is that we can automate and get data on each individual plant, but it will require a lot more work and some thinking
It's
to do so.
above my pay grade, I'll tell you.
I would love to do that, but
Funding,
it's
of course.
funding is going to be a big thing as well, and really keeping track of each plant will be a test. I'll have to get a couple people together to figure out how the best way for us to manage so much of that. Currently, we are working on just the core data of the greenhouse.
Now, Dave, you mentioned the funding just a minute ago. So was it something that PTK applied for?
So, and Bonnie, could really speak more on where the initial funding came from for this project. I know that they've got in place some plans on how to, sustain the greenhouse and how to bring in some money. PTK is a pretty active group here on campus, and they do a lot of events for charity, and they work with a bunch of different groups in the region, as I'm sure you're aware. Every year they do a fall cookout, and this year I believe the proceeds from that, right, Bonnie? The proceeds from the cookout are going towards maintaining and running this. The other way we've saved some cost is facilities here. They've been great. They put in a lot of time, a lot of effort to to get all of this in place and get this up and running. From an infrastructure standpoint, my department, we're starting them off with some recycled equipment that we were able to salvage from other products, put it to good use, and I think it'll serve a good purpose for what they're looking to do. So that saved them some hardware costs as well. The students have been pretty proactive. They've gotten some equipment donated to get this up and running, including the microprocessors that are going to be running all the sensors in here, and moving forward, once they get this up and running, Bonnie and the team has a pretty good plan in place to keep it sustainable.
Great. I'll tell you, that's one of the things I've noticed by doing the program. How passionate the students are, how involved they get, and how the various departments kind of work together. It seems like you're dealing with practically everybody on campus in one way or another.
It's they refer to it as a QCC family here, and it is true. It takes everybody to make some of these things happen. So. Definitely a team effort for sure.
And one final question for you, Thomas. Are drones going to be involved at any time?
Well, currently, anything could happen, but right now, folks.
Jeff Bezos, Amazon, is he going to be involved? Whole Foods Market or anything?
The Amazon has been doing great work. They have a lot of stuff available, and maybe in the future we can use some of the tools that they have that they've been working on. But currently, we're keeping the costs down, and we're doing it all on our own right now.
There you go. Guys, thanks so much. Great work, by the way. We'll take one more final break here and come back with our last segment and wrap it up here at the PTK Greenhouse, which is right here on the campus of QCC when Face the Region continues on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN. Welcome back once again to Full Service Radio AM 830 WCRN and QCC's Face the Region. And today, coming to you live from the PTK greenhouse on the campus of QCC. I'm next to me here is Bonnie Coleman, Nicole Botanizzo, and Christine Sherman. Did I get that right? And they're proudly displaying some of the things that have actually been grown inside the PTK greenhouse. For how long you been working on these?
July 11th.
Yeah,
They,
just a few months.
Yes, they were planted all by seed. And so we're pretty happy with what we have out here for right now.
Okay, and what are you holding there,
I
Bonnie?
am holding the red Malaban spinach. And I hear it's delicious.
Now, so you haven't? Are folks actually eating these your fruits of your labors, so to speak?
They actually are. So our first harvest we gave to our new president, President Pedraja, and he said him and his family enjoyed it immensely. So we were very happy to hear that. And the other day I was walking down to give Kayla Patterson some of the spinach, and somebody stopped me and they ate it and said it was delicious. So we're happy to hear that people are enjoying what we're growing out here.
So you're getting rave reviews from the outpouring of the PTK greenhouse. Nicole, and what have you got?
I have the chocolate mint.
Oh, the chocolate mint. All right. Now is everything pretty much going to be herbs in here, or what's the eventual plan?
Well, we have a few other vegetables too, like lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, eggplant, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. And Christine, let me scoot down here. You've got the big flowering job here. What are these?
Well, actually, I have an example of some of our lettuce.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even try to pronounce the name. And then we have a tomato plant. Started from seeds, so that's pretty awesome, right?
Cool. So are these plants, once you give them to the eventual donees, do you think are you also making seedlings and things like that?
Well, we're going to try. We've been reading a lot. We've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to do these things. And they're all laughing at me over there. You all need to stop. So we're going to try to keep the tomato seeds and then restart the tomato seeds from an older tomato. And we're also, our hope is to have a hydroponics system started in here for next year, so they'll be doing a lot with that too.
Right. In talking with Tom and Dave in the last segment, the technical end of this is pretty advanced.
Yeah, they have these students that I work with. They're just unbelievable. They only want to see the best for this greenhouse, so they are working hand in hand. They meet maybe once every other week on this greenhouse, but like Dave said, it's the QCC family has pulled together and has made this happen for us.
You know, a term I hear thrown around often in all the various disciplines is sustainability, and that's really kind of the focus and the end hope, is it not?
It is. So our hope is that this will blossom into a beautiful, greenhouse. I don't know if that's the right word, but we are hoping that every department here on campus will come and take place and help us out with this. And so the more that we learn and other people learn, it will just spread the word all over this campus that this is what it's all about, is, being able to sustain this greenhouse.
As we kind of get ready to wrap up this segment of QCC's Face the Region, I want to give you a chance to give props to some of the other people who've been involved and important.
So over the past few years, I've worked with, of course, Mary Bailey, who brought this, and Joshua Avert, and Sam. I cannot pronounce Sam's last name because it's a Nessenthaler. Yeah, he has been great. Of course, Dave Runyon, who works at the college. I'm trying to think of all the other. Jim Rackey and his crew. They have been incredible to us. They are working as hard as we're working out here to make this work. Just everybody here on the campus that wants to see that, everybody knows that the Phi Theta Kappa students are the students that do things, and whatever they do well. So I think people just believe in them and they want to help them.
Well, the other thing, too, and I often hear this mentioned in the halls around campus, is the fact that it truly is a community college, so people working together. And the hands-on aspect of it, I mean, getting everybody involved from the computer departments and biology and everything else, I mean, it's It's like an ongoing lab, really.
It is an ongoing lab, and again, without the QCC family, this would not have happened. But the students, I give 100% prop to our students because they have been dedicated. And every time that and Jim Rackey will smile about this, every time he has said no to us, it made the students more determined to go forward, to do something else, to get this up and running. And we have students like Tom and Christine and Nicole and Kim. And many other students that couldn't make it today, but that have dedicated, countless hours to get this up and running. And a lot of things have to happen. 6 years it took to get this up and running. So another greenhouse might take another 6 years, but I do believe that the students will be as dedicated to the next greenhouse. And I also want to say we've worked with Holy Cross College and WPI. They've given us tours and they've given us lots of ideas. So we thank everybody that we've worked with to do this because none of us are experts in a greenhouse. So, it's our live and learn greenhouse, and I'm sure we will live and learn a lot.
And for somebody who might want to get involved with PTK and some of the great work you do, how would they go about doing that? And I get it's an honors-based system, right?
It is an honors base. So we invite twice a year, 3.5, 15 college credits. They just dropped the credits that are earned at Quinsigamond Community College. But we encourage all students that want to be engaged in this greenhouse or any of the projects that we do, because we do a lot of great projects, to come up to our office, stop by. Everybody is welcomed in the Phi Theta Kappa office, so we invite everyone.
There you go. Bonnie, thanks so much for taking time. Girls, same deal, and guys and girls. That'll do it for this edition of QCC's Face the Region, the PTK Greenhouse. Check it out if you're ever here on campus. We'll see you next time here on Full Service Radio, AM 830 WCRN.
This has been Quinsigamond Community College's Face the Region. Join us again next weekend on AM 830 WCRN.